with your old ass podcast. Welcome to With Your Old Ass Podcast, where my young old ass and my co-host bring you life discussions, difference of opinions, and we checking in on mental health and the well-being of our guests when they're here. Now, if you allow my young old ass and my co-host to borrow your ear for a minute, we gladly appreciate it. Because I am your host, Taylor Nicole.
And I'm your co-host, Pac Manley.
And this is With Your Old Ass Podcast. Pac, how have you been, buddy?
I've been well, especially that I'm on PTO from work.
By the time this airs, you won't be on PTO from work.
Well, when it was taped, I was on PTO and I was very well rested.
Cool. I guess he's rested and well. So, in a real serious question, how is everything going in general? Like, how's everything going? How are you doing?
Everything's going real good, you know. Nothing to complain about too much. Well, you know, besides for some things that happened yesterday, you know, the passing of one of my cousins. But other than that, I'm doing good.
You said your week was going so fine so far, and unfortunately, due to the family event, it's the only thing that kind of, you know, people are rude.
That's why I put my phone over there.
Oh, it's not people. It's just a reminder. Yeah, no, I'm not leaving my phone anywhere. It's going to stay right here with me. Anyway, so with the following of that question, how would you describe your mental state at the moment? Where do you feel like you are mentally right now in the world? Beyond just the losing of a family member, where do you feel like you are currently mentally?
Mentally, I'm at peace. You know, I'm doing just fine, you know, as I not stressed out over anything or nothing is stressing me out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's good. Any steps that you've taken to better yourself, whether it was in the past or currently, that you feel like you're doing?
Take time off from work. Everybody deserves time off from work. And that is a true thing that will help your mental state.
That's true. Well, you kind of gave some advice. Do you have any extra advice that you want to provide out there for people?
I'm sorry. No, not right now. I don't. That was the best thing I could think to say was make sure you take time off of work. Matter of fact, take time out for yourself.
Yeah. So my week been up and down. It's this same thing over and over again. If you don't know about me, I'm an insurance agent. So all day, every day. Either I'm getting yelled at or I'm getting laughs. It just depends on what's going on and who's on the phone. So I would have to say I agree with the taking steps and taking time away from work because it's definitely important. Mentally, I will say that I'm on a mental roller coaster journey. It's an uphill battle when you're jumping into new ventures in life, you know, and you're trying to, you know, alleviate bonds, whether they're trauma bonds or just life in general, that you're trying to alleviate bad connections with to open up the doors for better connections and better mental awareness, if you will. I don't verbally always discuss my mental health with any and everybody, but there have been some roller coaster channels that I've experienced on my own journey with mental health. Needless to say, it didn't win. God damn it. It didn't win. I'm still here. And as the show progresses and go on, eventually I probably may touch base on some of those moments, but just not right now, because we fresh and we new, and baby, you don't need to know that just yet. Y'all don't need to know how just yet. steps to make myself better that I've taken was becoming more vocal and honest about whatever it is I'm experiencing versus keeping it quiet. Learning to better explain my emotions to someone without getting extremely angry, because I used to get real angry when I tried to explain myself. So I'm, taking better steps into that. My biggest advice to anyone that may be dealing with any type of blockage mentally, to where they feel like they're just trapped in the same closet, same dark room, is to, find your outlet. Find what makes you shine, what makes you brighter, because the world won't give it to you. You gotta take it. So that's my advice when it comes to people who's maybe dealing with something similar to what I lightly disclose to you, if you will. So that's my advice out there. Anything else that you care to add? Nothing
Nope.
else? All right. Well, hey y'all. We want to pause the show for a brief moment. I want to thank you for tuning in as far as you have. We still got more of the show to give y'all. Because listen, your host, Tay Nicole, and your co-host,
Pac Manly.
definitely got something to give you. But listen, you guys make sure you follow With Your Old Ass Podcast on YouTube and on Instagram. Handles are there. You can follow Pac at,
Pac_Sinatra on Instagram.
and you can also follow me at The Real Taylor Nicole. Actually, that's not even my handle. Damn it, my handle's not that no more. It's The Real Taylor Nicole. Is what it is. Don't look at me like that, man. Sometimes you mess up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you mess up. But no, seriously. You can follow us on our own individual platforms at Pac_Sinatra. And then you can also follow me at TheRealTaylor.Nicole. You can also follow this podcast at With Your Old Ass Podcast on Instagram as well. All of this will be in the descriptions down below. Make sure you guys follow. As you can tell, he's new. him new. Him new. Pat, you got anything you want to say to the guests?
Nope.
Nothing at all? Yeah. You don't want to say thank you?
Oh, thank you for. And you just caught me completely off guard. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hope your day's going well.
And with that, we'll get back to the show. So, for segment 2, as I mentioned to y'all previously, this is the portion where we do. He's not ready. His cue. He ain't even on cue. He don't even remember how the show work, y'all. See what I'm saying? You hire a motherfucker and they don't do shit right.
Topic of discussion.
I can't wait to get you some cue. I gotta get him some cue cards, y'all, because poor baby just don't. I mean, I know I'm the only one that got the notebook, but I literally just gave you the name
A
of it.
lot has happened since then.
Yeah, let's blame it on that. But anyway, like I said, we're gonna jump into segment 2, which is
Topic of discussion.
so. And today's topic of discussion, ladies and gentlemen, is, let's see, controlling genders, male versus female, female versus male. So, to briefly describe what I mean by controlling genders, this is a take on where a male gives his perspective on what they perceive as a controlling woman, and where a woman gives her definition or what she perceives as a controlling man. And then we see the similarities or we don't see them. But as a true host, I'm going to let the co-host go first. So, question 1 for gender controlling male perspective on a woman. Before I even ask the questions, what do you consider a controlling woman?
A female Ike Turner? No. A woman that basically tries. I know it's kind of hard to not say what is in the actual thing, because I was going to say a woman that actually tries to control every single thing her man does: clothes, friends, food, anything extracurricular activities or anything like that.
Okay. So he gave a general synopsis of what he perceives a controlling woman would be. I would have to say, from a woman's perspective on what they perceive, what the general population of women perceive a controlling man to be, is very similar to what he just disclosed. But more in the sense of she's more cautious about what she says, what she does, what she wears, because she's worried about what he's going to think or what he's going to feel if she does such a thing. So, just a quick example would be, when women get dressed, a lot of women, they will ask their man, how do I look in this, right? That's normal for them to ask, how do I look in this? But a woman who's being controlled to me by a man wouldn't necessarily ask, how do I look in this for, him to give her a compliment. It'd be more so because she's concerned he's going to say too much of this is showing, too much is that showing. Or she won't even wear something that she thinks he's already going to say is a problem to avoid an issue. And where most people will go, that's not controlling. He just don't want her showing skin. I beg to differ. Because I done seen some things in my life. But the clothes is just a key point. Another thing could be just the way she cooks. It could be the simplest thing that she cook. She cook it the same way every time. Because he only wanted one way. She might know some other great ideas to spice up the food, make the nah. Because he's going to complain she don't do it. To me, that is a controlling standpoint of when, especially from a woman's perspective on men, is when they're trying to dictate the maneuvering ship inside the home and outside the home. Maybe not so much her work life, but her general life. That's me. So, with that being said, how does the controlling gender aspect or affect the community?
Was that a question for me?
Mm-hmm.
How does the controlling aspect affect the community?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about from standpoints of a man or for a woman or from either or?
So yours is, a male's perspective on a woman being controlling, right? So how does the aspect of a woman trying to control a man affect the community? And if you don't know right off, I can give my side, and then you can piggyback off.
I don't know right off.
So, for me, on both sides, it counts for both sides to me. When both parties are trying to control, like a woman, like you mentioned earlier, some women are good at trying to control every inch of their man, from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, because she wants him to be a painted image of what she wants, right? So when you got that aspect of a woman doing that to a man and a man doing that to a woman, the community is now sheltered because they see an image that is in their face, right? And now becomes the painted mirror. This is what they see consistently. So if every man in the community is doing the same thing to their woman, this becomes a painted image to the children. To where the children get older and they think, well, this is what I seen my daddy do, and it's the right thing to do. Now, some people are a dime a dozen. They don't follow the pack. But in reality, when both sides is too busy trying to control, it creates a toxic environment. So therefore, that's what affects the community. And that's how it will affect the community, in my opinion. Anything to...
No, basically covered it up, because the only thing I was really going to touch on is more of the controlling person not getting their way, and that's when domestic violence comes into play, and that hurts not just the person that's on the receiving end, but the children that have to sit back and watch or hear or whatnot. Some carry it over into their adult life, and like you said, the painted image, they think that that's how a person is supposed to be, so they try to carry that into their relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And some try to actually break the cycle and don't want anything to do with domestic violence and try to stay clear of it all.
About cause. Yeah. Um. Was that it for you?
Yes.
So two leads into three. It asks, is this a problem? Um, or is there a problem here with this? And in my life, no. I don't see in my household, or you know, yeah, my household, I don't see I don't see a problem with the controlling gender aspect. And I use this as an example because people are probably always confused when they see us out, because I don't always dress very feminine. I'm very just comfortable in my own skin. I wear golds. I wear whatever I want to wear, whether it's a baseball jersey, basketball jersey. I wear whatever I feel comfortable in. I'll go to the grocery store with him in his basketball shorts if I feel like it. Hair all over the head. I don't always retwist my locks all the time. And for some people, that's not a feminine standpoint. But for others, it does. It's not a problem. So that's why I say in my household, and he's allowed to express and be himself however he see fit. I don't come and tell him he can't wear blue socks with purple socks if that's what makes him feel good about himself. I'm just saying.
So all this time I could have been wearing my blue socks with my purple socks? She no, I'm
So
playing.
I don't. Now I can't sit here and say, and you probably can attest to this. I can't say that I don't see it in my community, though. I cannot say that I don't know of personal problems that I've seen this become a thing in. Of course, I'm not going to spill nobody's tea. That's not my thing. But I do know that I see it. And when I do see it, I try to address it to better my circle, um, for me. What about you?
Yeah, and with her dressing the way she dresses, a lot easier on the pockets. I don't have to get nails done or
Wow.
nothing. No, I'm playing. But
Yeah, no nails. I don't wear purses, heels.
um,
Man got it made.
yeah, I do appreciate that she feels comfortable in her skin. And once I figured out I, the way she dresses or the way she feels comfortable, it, it's easier for me to, without her, buy stuff. Because I kind of know her taste. She knows mine. And as far as community, no, but there has been some things I've seen, like she said, I'm not gonna spill nobody's tea. Oops, dirt. No, I'm playing. Um, it's I don't see too much of it because like I say, most people will come from domestic violence houses and they don't want their household to be in that way. So
Yeah.
people try to change it or at least keep it in house. Don't
Yeah.
try to expose it in the streets or whatnot.
Yeah. Um. So this is just a yes or no question. We don't have to go digging deep into this. Is the gender controlling a argument worthy situation? Is it something worth arguing with the community to fix?
Yes.
I agree. It's a yes. Um. Do you have anything you want to say in general about why you feel like it's argument worthy?
Yeah. So it is an argument that's worthy because everyone should be, well, I'm not going to say you should be, live your life how you want to, but at least try to do good.
Mm-hmm.
Hurting hurting another person's feelings, mentally, physically, all that, that's not a good person.
Yeah.
So, and to make our community better, we have to start with ourselves.
True. Yeah. Small little piggyback off of that. Yeah, it's definitely argument worthy just to give the the future youth something to look up to, something to say, okay, here are the two paths I've seen, but I see more people take this route and argue and fight for this route than that one. So let's keep going this way. We're no stranger. We know the world is not going to be 100% pure angels. Unfortunately, there's evil all over this world, and it's not going to just go away. That's not how that works, unfortunately. Not everyone's equipped that same way, but this gender controlling aspect is definitely argument worthy to try to push as many people as we can into the right direction, whatever right seems to you. To me, right seems to allow people to express and live life as they see fit, as long as it's not harming the next person. That's my take on it. I can't control anyone else's take on it. At some point, do we have a middle as to what is considered, okay, this is not controlling? Is there a middle to you? Or is controlling and there's no middle to that?
No, because there can be a middle.
Mm-hmm.
So what some people might consider controlling can be, suggestions being made.
Okay, so like for example, where somebody might think that outside looking in might see how me and you communicate, and they might think, oh, she's the controlling one in the relationship. But in all actuality, it just may be because I've experienced something more than you have, or I've done something further than you
And
have,
she's
and
a
vice
lot more
versa.
talkative than me.
And very much so more talkative than him. So they may perceive it as I'm very controlling, but really it's not necessarily that. It's just the dynamic works for us.
Yeah.
So I guess there is a middle to where, understanding isn't controlling.
Yes. But I was going on the route of like a woman or a man, like I say, trying to control how a person dresses.
Okay.
And, it's not necessarily controlling if you suggest like, hey, no, you shouldn't wear that. With that, hey, maybe you should try this.
Okay, so just giving a different perspective or objective over an outfit that they put on versus telling them that they can't wear it at all.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not necessarily controlling, it's suggestive. If you don't want to do it, you ain't got to do it.
True. Does this affect the world? I know it affects the community, but does this really truly affect the world? Do you think this is a big problem in the world? Or do you think it's just community based?
It's a damn good one. I didn't know you was gonna come with that.
That's why I'm a host. I target that ass.
Yeah, so it could be seen as a world issue.
Why?
One, simply, well, if you're gonna take it to world issues, then let's bring up like, and I know I don't want to get too deep into anything like abortion, the
Okay.
topic of abortion. Some people believe in it, some people don't. We got these,
So that's your idea of a man controlling a woman.
yes,
Okay.
like the Republicans. Hey, I'm not gonna say just all Republicans, but
There's some Democrats out there that was for it.
yeah, that's for it. But the whole her body, her choice.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are very against that. Some people are very for that.
Mm-hmm.
And with that even being said, have to be said, her body, her choice, that is definitely a male trying to control something.
Okay. I could see that. Everything that's done minor becomes major at some point. So yes, it's going to be a worldly effect. No matter what part of the world you go in, you're going to see someone trying to control somebody. No matter the race, no matter the age, no matter what gender they subscribe to, you're going to always find it in a community. And it's not always the communities you think it is, but it's always going to be in this world. I go to Europe and I'm going to find somebody trying to control somebody.
Ooh, definitely.
I'm going to go, I can go to Hawaii. I can go to Canada. I can go anywhere in this world. I'm going to find somebody trying to control somebody, and it's just inevitable. That's why I said earlier, there's good and bad. You know, there's angel, then there's the devil. There's evil. You know, so you know, it's just you have a choice in what you allow to affect your world and your community. However you perceive that and wherever you perceive that to be, because not everybody's world is the same as my world. You know, so it just it's a matter of understanding. This is my world. I'm going to take my steps to fix my world. Not everybody's world is the same. Because to people overseas, because the United States, we consider that overseas, right?
Hmm.
We consider, you know, Korea and all
Yeah,
them, we
yeah.
consider overseas, right? But to them, we're overseas. Two different worlds. To Canada, all of us is crazy. You know,
I'm not gonna touch on that
to
subject, but
Canada, we
yes.
all crazy. But, you know, once again, it's a different world everywhere you go. You know, and everybody perceives their world differently. My world is technically the United States, because what happens over in the kingdom, the United Kingdom and everything, I'm not saying it doesn't affect me, but I'm not there to be able to necessarily know what's really going on. I don't live there. Hell, I live in the United States and I still don't know what the hell's going on here. Okay, I'm still kind of lost.
I'm not gonna get started with that,
But
but
we're not gonna go deep down that rabbit hole. Just saying, just saying,
not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
just saying. Um, but with that, that leads us into segment 3, which is difference of opinion. Now, in this segment, typically the person gets 3 to 5 minutes to just, you know, banter and say whatever they feel that they need to say. That might not have not been said, and also touch base on something that they felt like they need to circle back on and clarify. So without further ado, I'm going to give my co-host Pack
I
the
was gonna say
opportunity.
ladies first, but
You want me to go first?
yes, please.
Okay. So, um, my side of the of this aspect was, you know, female's perspective on a man controlling a woman, so to speak. Let me reverse it real quick, because I want to touch base on how women, and y'all gonna hate me for this. I'm sorry, but women, we have a stronger tendency to control people without them even knowing it. Look at your kids. You would put your kids in whatever you want them to, whatever. And this is not on the healthy people, because there's people who don't do this. But you got a lot of women who dress their kids, aka their boys, like they're grown men, their daughters like they're grown women, and they feel like it's just cute. But naturally, you're controlling that child's narrative. You're not allowing that child to prosper on their own. You're controlling their narrative. On the flip side, the daddy could put the kids in regular kid looking clothes. You know, nice pair of J's, you know, Letterman jacket, t-shirt, or whatever the case may be, and you'll complain about it. Therefore, you're controlling the narrative of what you want it to perceive. So, women have a higher chance and a higher rate of being controlling in the mental state than what we realize. It may not be intentional, but we do have the tendency to do it. Now, men have a strong tendency to do it as well, but it's not necessarily with the kids. It's usually just with women. When a man wants to control something, he tries to control a woman's mind, and the moment he finds her vulnerability, he's got her, and he knows he does. And at that point, he plays the toy game. So, with the way the world is, as a human, as an adult, as a person, you know at some point when you've been toyed with. You know at some point when your mind is being manipulated and played with. And at some point, it is your job to say enough is enough. You cannot continue to look out and keep crying out for help, and when people give it to you, you turn your back and be like, no, can't do that. So in this world of being controlled, if you are the controller, take a step back and look at what you're controlling and ask yourself, am I doing it for the right reasons? Or am I not? Just saying.
Yeah, that was good. That was, you know,
He like, I ain't got nothing to say.
I kind of don't, but you know, she did touch on, you know, women with controlling kids, and like women want to see like their son dressed as somebody like that they like or something, and they want their child to look like this. But no, putting them Spider-Man shoes on your son is quite all right.
Now hold on, wait a minute. Time out. I'm sorry.
Because, you know, you put him in them J's, he gonna go outside and dirty up them J's. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have it's cool for, like, you know, to look good, but to go outside and play or just be a kid, hey, put on them Payless shoes or whatever. Let them have it. You know, hey, I don't know why she's laughing, but yes, put on them old beaters so they, you know, you don't want them kids ruining them shoes. And dang.
I'm sorry, you done?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was trying not to interrupt because that is one of the rules. I can't interrupt. That's why I shut up real quick because I realized I was about to interject. Because it was funny. It was just, the first interjection was just to be funny because that is one of the rules. Is not to interject. So I wanted to see if you was gonna catch it, but you didn't. It's cool. But I wasn't laughing because he said pay less. It was just the way he said it. You know. Me personally, I don't think I've ever worn any Payless shoes. But I also went with my mama when she bought shoes. But I do know most of my shoes was Reebok, Adidas, Nike. I don't know if I had Puma or not. I had to call my mama and ask her.
Not gonna lie, I had some unnamed brand shoes as a child. You know, I grew up in a whole different era than she did. You
Not
know,
really.
I grew up in mid '80s.
Yeah, but not really. I
I
was
was
raised
just
in the 90s.
and also, you know, I'm not gonna touch on. Well, you know, I just
We can,
single.
we must say,
Yeah,
yeah, we can dig into that
yeah,
another time.
yeah.
We're going to get into that another time.
But you know, it was, yes, I had some shoes that were not name brand, and
And that's
those are
normal.
shoes I went outside to go play with. I
I
had
know
to
that's right.
kick them Nikes off when I got home from school.
Oh, you talking about to go outside and
Yeah,
play
yeah,
in.
that was the whole thing.
I
That's what I was talking about,
thought
the
you was
Payless
talking
shoes.
about you just. I was about to say, nigga, you going to school and.
Yes, I have. Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not that. That's not what I'm doing. Um,
Okay.
you know, I don't know. Now I gotta come because you know what's funny as a kid, you kind of blur out. You don't really remember.
Oh, you remember them times you got teased?
Did I get teased?
You probably didn't. I got teased for pro kids.
You know what? I did get teased when I had okay, caveat. I'm a hairy gene person. I inherited from my grandfather. It's inevitable. I can't do nothing about it. My arms is hairy, my legs get hairy, right? I did get teased for having hairy legs as a little girl. So that's why I never wanted to wear skirts, which is a gender controlling thing. You know, and I
See how I
didn't.
just circled around?
It did just circle around full circle, but I never really realized that until I was like, damn, like growing up, when kids was teasing me about my hairy legs, and I was slightly embarrassed by them, and didn't want to wear skirts or anything. I always wanted to wear just like pants and stuff like that. It wasn't until my mom and I had a conversation about, you know, my hairy arms and legs, and my mother actually made me feel comfortable about it, which salute to my mama because she's the reason why I am now like I am. I'm very comfortable. I can go, if I knock this hat off right god darn now, these locks are not twisted. The only reason why I got the hat on is because we got on these shirts. That's why. But other than that, yeah, I don't really be, you can ask him, I don't be tripping. My hair don't have to be, you know, retwisted all the time, you know. Now, of course, if it didn't have locks, I'd keep my hair done. I'd keep rock an afro, curly afro, something like that. But in this world, that's I guess that's the only thing that I did get teased about. But one thing they couldn't say nothing about because they had them kicks on every time.
Now, if I can throw in, I got teased. I had these Nike ACG boots.
I looked them up because I can't remember.
It's just any Nike ACGs. I forget what kind, but I had these shoes, these boots, and the shoestrings somehow, some way, both shoestrings broke. The only other pair of shoestrings that were available in the house were pink. And, early in the morning, my mom was like, "Here, just throw these on." So I laced them pink laces in my boots and went to school.
Did you have the black ones?
No, they was brown.
Yeah.
No, it's more like that.
All right. I'm gonna show y'all.
Yeah, so
It's not right now.
if you see the boots, just imagine pink laces in them on a sixth grader. Yeah, I got teased all that week until I was able to get some more shoelaces. But yeah,
That's terrible to get teased about some shoelaces.
it was like
Kids are mean though.
kids are mean.
I'm gonna tell you what too though, real quick to bring back full circle before we close out the show. Controlling genders actually low key started as a kid too.
It does. It does.
Because like if you think about it, even if you was raised in a good household where your daddy loved your mama, mama loved your daddy, and you never seen them fight, arguing, none of that in front of you, you will go to school, and the kid at school, the kid with the nice parents and everything that got everything handed to them, are usually controlling ass kids. They usually are so used to having everything at their fingertips that they tend to be the ones who start being the controlling little assholes. So they start with the teasing, the bullying, and most people be like, oh, it's because they not getting love at home. But low key, they could be getting a lot of love at home. They just choose to be little assholes. So it low key start with kind of kids though, and then we turn into these grown ups to be assholes. Hence the ones that you see today running around here. So it's just a full circle moment when you realize that as you grew up with the assholes that are doing it.
Yes.
So, that's crazy. That was full circle, and that wasn't even intended to be full circle, but that was full circle. So, anything else you want to say to the people before we close out?
No, not really. Make sure you guys stay stress free and drink your water.
That too. Or if you like me, drink your mixed concoction.
Gotta blur out the name. No sponsorship yet.
Oh, my hands is covered. Ain't no blurring out nothing.
I'm just joking.
But you can't blur out the bottle because they know what kind of bottle this is. But no, we do really want to thank you guys for tuning in and allowing us to borrow your ears for however long we snatched them up for, an hour, 45 minutes, whatever we took them for. But we hope you guys took something from this episode, and we hope to see y'all continue to tune in as we continue to drop these week after week. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and follow With Your Old Ass Podcast on Instagram. Remember, all links is in the description. Caveat, I also have another YouTube channel. Make sure y'all follow that too. Other than that, I've been your host, Taylor Nicole.
I'm Pac Manley.
And we are With Your Old Ass Podcast.
All right, somebody call my manager. I'm done with this. I cannot know.
You stupid. It was a blast talking to y'all ass. I only had to use one camera because the other one wouldn't work.